Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Scarfinger, and this is Prison Architect. Um, I really like playing this game, like super like playing this game, and a lot of my friends ask me why I like playing this game. Uh, you know, I really like kind of like city builder type games, and this kind of takes that idea, like city builders and tycoons and things of that nature. Um, to a whole new level. And, out of everything that they've added over the course of all of the updates and everything, I really, really dig this game. Uh, so I figured I'm testing out OBS uh, for my NCAA series, and I figured why not play a little bit of Prison Architect and just kind of show you around. So we're going to start at the front here, and out front, we have the loading and unloading areas, which is this is where they dump all of the garbage. Exports, when I have things that the prisoners made. Well, first of all, let me see. Somebody died. Well, a couple people died. Looks like it's going down over here. Let's see what we got here. The showers are always such a big damn deal. I have no idea why the showers are such a big deal, especially when looks like it's a gang activity. Yeah, looks like a gang activity, and everything is going to hell. I didn't mean for all of this shit to happen, but okay, right. And looks like I lost a couple of guards. It paused for a second. I think most of the time it pauses for the autosave. I got all these guards and stuff just reacting to everything. Uh, yeah, shit's going really wrong. Yeah, a lot of people are dying. Whole lots. Whole lots of people are dying. I didn't expect any of this shit to happen. Not at all. It's not gone to full on riot yet, but it looks like it's headed that way. So I'm going to speed this up and let it play out and just clear this whole thing out. Well, initially, I was going to basically take you on a tour of the prison, but looks like my prison has other ideas. So, yeah, looks like they got it clear, but I lost a bunch of people. I lost some staff, so I might want to go ahead and. I don't know how many. Actually, let me pause this. Let me go to my morgue. So, okay, so I lost a dog. I lost a couple of guards. Well, I lost a couple of dogs, it looks like. They haven't been taken out here yet. So, it looks like I lost a couple of dogs. Looks like I lost a couple of guards. And I'm going to have to replace those. I mean, this is my. I call this prison the farm. As you can see, this prison I, it's basically so I can make money and pay for other stuff in other prisons. So yeah, this did not go as this absolutely did not go as planned, and so I'm just waiting for all of this stuff to clear up a little bit, and hopefully we'll get back to some sense of normalcy so I can get back to the original intent of this playthrough or this, showcase. All right, so it looks like I need at least two dog handlers. I'm going to do three. And I think I had 65 guards. So let's do one, two, three guards. I believe I have my classes and stuff set up for the I believe I have my classes set up so that they can get tasers. The tasers help this stuff get taken care of pretty quickly. But yeah, this is crazy. All right, so let's go back to the original intent of this. Let me slow it down to the slowest to normal speed. All right, so here's the front area. And this is where everything gets delivered in. This is where people and objects and everything gets delivered here. As you can see, the trucks are bringing food and plates for my workshop. I'll get to that in a second. And they stop to pick up the garbage before they pull off. So and then when I make the license plates and things of that nature, they go here in the export section until the trucks show up, so they can be put on the truck and be sent off. And the moment the truck leaves the screen down at the bottom, I get money for them. So I can't believe that just happened. I probably get a call from the warden because so many people died. This is the reception area. This is kind of a holding area where the prisoners first come in. They get strip searched, and then they get put in their uniforms. Even though all of these have like their orange uniforms, they get whatever corresponding uniform they're supposed to have. So yeah. So this is the reception area. Usually, you want to build the reception area just so you have some place to go, because if not, one, they don't get searched when they come in if you don't have a reception area, and also they will just sit out here in handcuffs until they get taken to their cell or a holding cell or anything like that. So that's why you usually want a reception area. I'll start from the bottom. This is the storage area where all of my extra stuff is stored, and you can see I'm double gated just in case someone gets past this gate. They still got two more gates to get out of um, before they can actually escape here. Um, and then here is my staff area, offices for all of my people, and then a staff room for them to rest. I usually make this as like a block. Now, normally, what you would do is you would usually want your psychologist to be out there somewhere, because you have things where they can come talk to the psychologist, make them feel better, and all of that other stuff. But so I put him on the end, and I added another door here where the psychologist can come. They can come and talk to the psychologist and do their thing. Um, and of course you got your metal detectors and things of that nature. So, and it's metal detectors in both places. Um, Here is a utility room, one of my utility rooms, where you have power and water. You really only need one water station, and you can run your water anywhere in your prison from here. The only time I would say that it might be a good idea to have another water station is if you build like on the other side, which I did purchase this land, but I haven't done anything with it yet. Um, Here you have one of my two holding cells. When I first opened this prison, I started off with a holding cell with bunk beds, just so I had something for them to, just somewhere for them to be. Uh, and then eventually I built this holding cell, because when I first started, one of the things I was doing was taking a whole bunch of low level people in so that they can get turned around real fast. And if you set them up on parole, then they will. If you set them up on parole, then they get you extra money. It's like 3 G's every time one of them gets out early. Um, this was my original solitary block, and I know some people don't, but I like to make sure that at the very least they can go to the bathroom. So I put toilets in the solitary, and the shower block is right there. This was the original shower block for all of the prisoners until I expanded up north, which I'll go to in a minute. Um, and then I put some stuff in there for them, because a lot of times at night they don't go to sleep. So what I did was I put I put a couple of weights benches in here, phone booths, uh, just so just so they can have something to do if they're up, and if they want to get one of those things taken care of on their needs, which I'll get to in a little bit, they have room to do that. Parole rooms. I usually like to build one big room and then separate the paroles. Um, it still works as a normal parole. I have a guard stationed in here because if they get denied parole, they have a tendency to kick off. So you can, you usually want to have a guard or some cameras in here. But if you don't have a guard, by the time a guard gets there, even if you have cameras, the prisoner might have killed somebody, might have killed the lawyer or the parole officer. So there's that. I got my infirmary with a morgue in the back. Um, there's been a lot of deaths in this here. Let's see how many deaths have I had. Prison grading. How many deaths? 67. So yeah, had a lot of deaths. So I put a whole bunch of morgue slabs in the back. Got a large infirmary. Just for two reasons: one, for the classes, and two, just so I can justify keeping two doctors around, because one of your early grants, you were supposed to make an infirmary with two doctors. A common room with a couple of seating areas for when they do like AA classes, Alcoholic Anonymous classes, and things of that nature, with the TVs, and the TV covers the whole area where they're sitting. I didn't do it down here because I put the door here originally, and putting another row of seats right here would not be ideal. Technically, I could move the door over down here, but I never really wanted to. Auto saving. Um, and this is my yard. I don't normally schedule yard time. Um, I don't normally schedule yard time, so I just kind of make a decent sized yards, a bunch of weights benches for them to sit down, enough room for them to run around, all of this stuff for the people who want to run. So, and these are just superior cells for certain people. If you're good enough, you can qualify to be in these cells. It was originally something else. I can't remember what it was, but I decided to make these cells just these cells just so I could use the so I could use the space. And I think this was the original canteen and kitchen, but that's up north. That's up north now, so you ain't got nothing to worry about. Um, and also, this guy right here is a problem. He's a gang leader, and he has done a lot of recruiting. I'll get to the gang stuff later. This I had just an empty room, and I didn't know what to use it for, so I just made an execution room. Even though I have an execution room up there, I just made another one just because I didn't really, I had no reason to put this here. But one of the problems with the executions is when you do an execution, it takes a long time, and it takes a long time for them to get where my death row prisoners are. So normally, so I wanted to put well, it takes them to get the prisoner there. It takes a long time to get the prisoners there, and it also takes a long time for the people who are viewing to get this and go all the way to the top, because my execution stuff and my death row prisoners are all the way at the top of the map. I have visitation. I chose to go with the visitation booths because if you go with a normal visitation, you get a lot of contraband coming into the prison. So what I did was I misjudged the size. So I just had to put a wall right here, but I have it to where as the visitors come in here, go up here and talk, but they never actually go in the prison to kind of cut down on the contraband. The prisoners are inside of the prison. They come from this door in order to go and talk to their people. And also, I have from my security office, I have the phone taps. The phone taps are on these also. I learned that later. I didn't know you could do that originally, but you can put phone taps on this, and you can find out a little bit more about your prisoners and stuff like that through your intelligence that way. So, and then attached to that is my kennel, where all my dogs come to go to sleep. Where my dogs at? They're right here, dog. Um, and then my armory, which I can have a bunch of well in the security I got my phone taps. I have someone on door control. I have a few places where mostly up front is where I have the door controls on the whole thing, just to kind of keep control over who's going in and going out. Um, and it's a good idea for me to set this up this way because it cuts down on people trying to run out the door, like people coming from here. Um, and I also try to block it off to whereas there is no reason for them to get down here. But if they do, I have guards stationed out here and everything to try to keep them inside in case someone tries to make a break for it. So, and then I got my armory, bunch of lockers. I think I only have a couple of arm guards. Yeah, I only have four. You only need one weapon rack. I know sometimes people put in more than one, but you only really need one and a table, and then I put a bunch of those there. Over here, I have the classrooms where they take their education classes, and where my guards have taser certifications, so that they can have tasers and really shut shit down really fast. You really want the taser certification and the body armor. It cuts down on the deaths, even though I do have deaths quite often in this prison. It cuts down on the deaths, and that works out better for everyone when they have tasers and body armor. Up here, I have the chapel where they go to church. They don't seem to use the prayer mats very much when they have their church sessions. They do the pews, and then the guy comes and talks. I just stuck the altar up here because no one actually like stands at the altar or anything like that. So I just kind of stuck it up top in the middle, put the pews in right here, prayer mats that rarely get used. Down here is my mail room where I have prisoners working to sort mail. We can go through that when it goes to the when we go through like the prison labor section of this. But yeah, this is where they sort mail, two sorting desks, a bunch of tables, and when it's time to work, they come in and they do that. The shop where they can buy things with the shop thing facing out. I thought about adding more shelves to this, but it didn't seem like it was absolutely necessary because it's not like they have a whole lot of time to come buy stuff. So I just kind of let that be. And then the library, it's rather small, but as you can see, like they've been in here working, putting the books up and stuff like that. There's still a lot of books to be put up and a lot of books to be put back. So I just kind of leave that. I left it small, call it a day. I put another. This was something else, and then I just made it into another room just to put more people in, because of course I just the more I have, the more people I have, the more money I can get if they can get out early. So I just kind of leave that at that. The laundry room, where they work and they wash the clothes, and then a ton of laundry baskets so they can take them wherever they need to go. Half of the time they leave them in the hallways, like right here, when they're done, when the shift is done. But like this guy here, he's actually working, so it's a good thing and a bad thing. Looks like somebody popped off here. He's a gang member because of the tattoos. All of the gang members have tattoos. And then this was my first workshop. just so I can make money. Where they make the beds down here, and then the rest of it is cutting wood for the wood for the beds, and also cutting the metal so they can take it over. No, this is cutting. They cut over here just to take it over there so they can press these into license plates. This is my cleaning cupboard where I have a lot of bleach in here. It just kind of built up over time. You don't really control how much bleach and stuff you actually have, but this turns into a problem because they can use some of these chemicals for like poison and stuff like that, and also the cleaning cupboard they can make weapons out of like broomsticks and stuff like that. They can make a club and all kinds of stuff. It's a problem. So I try to keep at least a camera in here. If it gets really bad, if I check my contraband and it gets really bad, then I will have a guard stationed in here. This is a blocked off area for more power once I started adding all of the stuff up top because all none of this stuff was originally here. I eventually expanded where here is more solitary. This is usually where they go to first these days, and then large cell blocks. Just just a lot of people in here so that I could a lot of people in here just so I can make more money. I I I made the mistake by taking a lot of high risk prisoners, and it's caused so many deaths and all of that kind of stuff. It's just really bad. I usually try to stick to the lower end so I can try to get them in and out faster to make money, but it's not quite working out with the showers in the back. Now the problem with the showers in the back is usually when it's shower time, and everybody in the cell block goes up here to take showers, usually end up with some sort of gang fights. Um, it's usually this one more than that one. I don't exactly know why, but yeah, that it's so I try to have guards stationed and walking around here. I have guards and dogs stationed, stationed to walk around these areas, just kind of patrolling and things of that nature because it's really really tough. Um, my kitchen. I have a rather large kitchen with a few entryways so they can come put the food and stuff out here. I have this was my second canteen, um, which now this is just the main canteen because it's enough to house all of the people that I need. So I ended up making this. Like I said, at first, none of this none from this hallway above, all of this stuff was added after the fact. So extra large canteen, kitchen with a lot of cooks working overtime, just to get all of these meals and stuff prepped. This is the workshop that I added after the fact. It's a rather large workshop, with of course two doors so they can't try to escape through here and try to figure out some way out. Metal detectors to catch them when they're leaving, and metal detectors here when they're walking out because they have to come out of here in order to go into the canteen and things of that nature. Um, and then up top is my this is my death row. All of my death row inmates are housed up here. It says right now I have two. They're both at 4%. It counts down every once in a while. They have a hearing, an appeal hearing, and I usually wait because I don't want to accidentally kill an innocent man. So I will wait until this is all the way at zero, before I actually execute somebody because it seems like the better thing to do. I have enough money to hold on to it for now. So this is all death row. Usually when they first come in, they're in these cells until they've been around long enough to be good enough to be put into better cells. Because of course death row inmates, with the exception of a parole hearing, death row inmates don't leave their cells for any reason. So as you can see, they have their trays here for when they eat and all that other stuff. This parole area is for the appeals of the death row inmates. Mostly, this is all marked as death row, um, and so that's why I had this one up here, and then the others are down here, where you see two people are on parole already. Um, so yeah, so I have that here, another power block, and this was my original execution. I wanted it to be a situation where they always well, all of this stuff was near each other, but the problem is when the people come in here, they have to come all the way down from the top. The visitors, they have to come all the way down at the top. They have to come in here. I made these access hallways. These are staff only hallways, but I made these access hallways. And then they walk all the way around here. Instead of cutting across here, they walk all the way around the top and come all the way around to go there. And it just takes a long time. And the problem with that is when you are doing an execution, you have to lock down your prison, and your prisoners get a little upset. That's why I usually try to do those at night. I usually try to do executions at night because they're all going away so they can go to sleep anyway. But because of how long it takes, it turns out to be a little bit more of a problem um, because of how long it takes them to walk around. Um, I mean that's the prison. Um, you know and then I have my forestry down here, and I usually have a dog handler walking across here just in case someone is trying to tunnel out through the toilets. This one is always a problem because the toilets go straight out. So I usually have a dog handler walking around here just to catch them if they're trying to leave. But even if they try to leave, there's a sniper here, and then snipers around, just kind of spaced out to make sure that nothing that they don't get even if they actually manage to tunnel out, they ain't getting too far. So um, yeah, so that's that. um, I will say that um, because I invited gangs in, um, my gang situation is terrible because I have a gang leader here who recruits a lot. The other gangs don't have gang leaders, so that guy is the boss. That's the underboss of the Green Gang. That's another underboss of the Green Gang. Another underboss of the Green Gang, and they start a lot of shit. Like they start a whole lot of shit. And see what's about to happen here. They're about to try to claim this territory, which when it pops off, the guards are going to rush in here and squash that real quick. I try to make sure that I keep guards in these two areas, and I make sure I keep this door open so that they can rush over there when it pops off and stop anything from happening because gangs are a pain in the ass. I will say if you're just starting out with Prison Architect, do not turn gangs on because gangs are a total pain in the ass, especially when you get someone like him, when you get a gang leader in everything. If the gang leader does something wrong and he gets put into solitary or something like that, then the rest of the gang will go the hell off. And it's a huge problem. You see, they're trying to take over this area. They have more people than in here than the guards, but because the guards are in here, they're not really popping off like they should. And they haven't taken this area yet. So I try to make sure I have a bunch of guards around here because these are two very hotly contested areas, especially with the Green Gang. Um, so yeah, the gang activity is crazy. You see, all of the green, all of the colors are the different gangs, and the Green Gang, because I have a leader here, he recruits a lot, a whole lot, and he talks people into being in the gang quite often. So it's just a situation to deal with. I wish I didn't have to deal with it, but it's just kind of the way it goes. Um, yeah, so I think that's just an explanation of my place, and you can see, look, this solitary. Almost everybody in this solitary except for one dude are all part of the Green Gang because they always doing dumb shit. They are forever, ever. They are forever doing dumb shit. So, yeah, I might actually do a series, and I might do a Let's Play series of Prison Architect. Um, I think that'll actually be kind of fun, and I'll go over some of this other stuff. Then there's no point of going through all of it now. So, yeah, that's Prison Architect, and all of this stuff was built by me. A lot of the cells were done through the quick build menu, um, and some of the initial stuff, like the cells and the solitary cells and the luxury cells and things of that nature were all done here. I wish I had more access. I know that you can put you can do mods and it gives you more auto build stuff, but I just decided that it wasn't worth it to go through all of that stuff and download mods and all of that other crazy stuff, because some of the stuff gets really out of hand. But there are some mods that I want to try. Like there's a mod where you can set up you can set up like a basketball league. I thought that was kind of cool. Um, so it's a couple of things that I would like to do through the mods. I did play before I had to reset my computer. I did play a Fallout mod where it changes the whole theme. It's basically Prison Architect, but it's a Fallout theme. Auto saving again, and I really like that. It changed up a lot. And made things a lot different. And you know, it's good to have a change of pace sometimes, because once you get to pretty much get to this level of the of your prison, um, it can it can get quite boring. But for me, I wanted to make sure that I had a place where I can put a lot of people in and make a lot of money that I can take with me to my next prison. Because if I go to my valuation is over 3 million, and I take that 3 million with me if I sell this place and move on to the next place. So yeah, I'll go over all of that stuff if I decide to do a Let's Play series, um, which would be kind of fun. Oh, the mayor's calling. What does he want? Okay, so he's transferring prisoners. That's gonna be a problem. Um, but I can't really do anything about it. Just but I did, because of the problems that I've been having in my prison. I do have free fire on, so my armed security, they have free reign to buck somebody if it comes down to that. So if you want to act up, let's shake them down, because it's it's been a long day and it's been a lot happening. So it's probably a good idea to shake them down now. And I'm gonna turn the speed up while I'm talking. Um, yeah, I want to go over everything on my Let's Play series. And look, we found some tunnels already. People already trying to escape. Uh, and I'm about to get a lot more people. Let's fix those tunnels before the new people come in. It's gonna be overcrowded. Look at that. I have I almost have 30 more people than my capacity. And now I got to figure out what the hell to do with that. What the hell to do with all these people. Um, so that's going to be fun. Yeah, I'm going to deal with this. And I'm, if you watched this, I'm glad you watched it. And I can go over all of this stuff, and we'll, figure out how to build a proper prison with everything that you need for a proper prison, and get this thing popping. It's your boy Scarfinger. Like, share, subscribe, and all that. And I'm out of here. Peace.